Hi guys, welcome back to Aeroland. So in this episode I will be expanding the pathway from the entrance up towards the roller coaster, because I wanted the guests to be able to directly access the roller coaster when they enter the park instead of having to go around the lake. So what I'm doing here is adding natural paths to the area, and when those are in place, I will extend the path underneath the roller coaster and have it end up at the village over there. At this side of the boulevard, I still had this small tower left I had to build, so I decided to make something simple, and I just quickly threw it together with some pieces, and it doesn't necessarily look bad, but I could have done better, but I couldn't be bothered, to be fair, because I had all different plans for this episode. As you can see, I didn't really try my best to make it look good. I just added two of these animatronic guards on top of the tower to make it look a little bit more alive. So at first I wanted to cover up the backs of these buildings, and afterwards I was trying to get the queue line in the right place. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. I wanted to have it kind of big at first, but I decided to have the queue line go underneath the station. I thought the ceiling at this point was too low, so I decided to just build the building first and check if that was true. And it appeared to be true, so I decided to make like a stairs going downwards into a basement-like area of the station. This way the guests will have more room before they hit their head. So that's basically the idea I was going for. Over here you can see I had a little bit of troubles with where I wanted to have the exit and entrance. I wanted to have them both on the same side and have the exit go underneath the station and to the pathway, but it didn't fit underneath the station for some reason. I'm not really sure why. So I decided to have the exit, I eventually decided to have the exit go to the other side. I added a little bit of a ceiling, but it just felt too, I don't know, it just felt too cramped. So I decided to make a basement-like area. Decided to move the exit to the other side of the station. But this is basically the idea, that the exit is on this side of the building, goes down the stairs and connects to the path that way. And you have to enter some kind of a tunnel area before heading into the alleyway. First I'm having the path go down like one stairs, so I have the correct height, and after that I'm using the flatten to foundation tool to flatten the whole basement to that area, to that height. And over here I had to make this very sharp corner, because otherwise I can really make a stairs go down, as you can see over here. And that's one of the things in this game that can really annoy me at times, is the way the terrain interacts with pathways. It's really annoying at times. I decided to just flatten the whole terrain area out and use the rocks from the scenery tab to fill up the space that I can't fill with the terrain tool. And as you can see here, I filled the place up with rocks, but I forgot to hit the record button again. So that's a little bit I missed out on in this time lapse, but that's okay. It's not that big of a deal. So I wanted to add a few windows that connect to the basement, and I tried to have them line up pretty well. As you can see, I used the F tool to center the windows over a wall. I did the same on the outside, so I was sure that the windows were matching up with the outside. And over here I'm placing a custom ceiling throughout the whole basement by using these 8-meter concrete poles, just filling up the ceiling. And this way I won't get glitched textures on the outside, and that's mainly the reason I do it, because that can really be a pain in the, you know what, Can really be a thorn in the eye. That's a better way of saying it. So I'm just finishing up this garden in front of the building, and then the basic layout of the building is done. I just wanted to have like a top part of the station, and I did not really know what to do. At first I wanted to close the whole thing off, but I decided not to do this and just close a little bit of the top part off and make like a big balcony on the other side where people can walk on before they enter the ride. So here I'm just filling the open areas on the side of the building. Here I'm just making like a balcony floor, and this is where I decided to remove these walls and place some of these arches instead. And as you can see, like the ends of the arches don't really match up with the gates. So I had to move every arch a little bit to the side to have them match up with the iron fences of the gates. So like if the walls are 4 meters, then the distance between the two outer gates are like 3 meters and 80 centimeters or something. It's really a small difference. So I wanted to have like these arches go from one side to the other to support the roof of the building. So I'm placing all these arches in the right places, trying to line them up as much as I could, because they weren't exactly 8 meters as well. So I had to overlap them a little bit in the middle. I did not really know what to do with the roof. So at first I wanted to make like a wooden roof on the inside and have tile roofs on top of it, so you have like this attic-like feel. But I did not really like how the wood looked next to the stucco arches on top of it. The contrast was really weird, so I decided to just go with a pointy stucco roof. So I've added tile roofs, and over here I wanted to have like a wooden awning like a bit of the roof to cover up the queue lines, give some extra shade. So I made these awnings just out of planks, because if I use the wooden tile roof, then it just looked weird on the inside of the building. So I decided to make an awning myself, and it ended up looking pretty nice. So I'm glad I chose to do it this way. Just finishing the staircase, and then the layout of the building is mostly done, the basic layout. As you can see here, the problem I had with people exiting the ride, they just jump from the upper stairs to the lower stairs. So to avoid that, I decided to just make a 90-degree corner instead of making like a U corner. And this way I avoid people jumping from the upper stairs to the lower stairs. For the natural palette in place, which I will be working on in the next episode. I just wanted it to go like underneath the coaster, and so people had the opportunity to walk around the roller coaster, and it will connect the main plaza to this village over here, and it just looks very nice. I guess that's it for this episode, and I'll quickly go over everything in the live commentary part. So let's quickly go over what I've built in this episode. I kept it fairly simple. This is the exit you see over here, and it will go around over here. At first I tried to have it bend around the corner and connect over here, but guests would walk straight to this wall from this stairs to the stairs that would have been like so. And they would just go through the wall instead of use the pathway. And It annoyed me so much that I just connected it like this, and it gives me a nice opportunity to make like an emergency booth over here, because I don't really have those in my park yet. And people tend to get nauseous in roller coasters, so it's quite handy to have something like that over here. Anyway, you'll enter the queue line right here, and you'll start off underneath the exit path, and you go through some kind of alleyway. You see all these windows over here. And you'll arrive at the water side. The water side, I'm going to connect this wall and have it go around the corner, finish it up. You'll go underneath the roller coaster, and then you'll head into the basement of the building, where you see these windows lining up with the windows you just saw in the alleyway. As you can see, I placed them exactly on the same place for that reason. The basement itself is still kind of empty. It still needs some lights on the ceiling, for example, and maybe some shelves along the walls, I don't know, something to fill it up a little bit more. One thing I do like is the foundation. I wanted to have, because it's in the basement, I wanted to have the foundation be a little bit taller over here. So that's why these rocks start over here. It looks kinda nice. You'll exit the basement and go around the corner over here. And once more, and you'll arrive at this nice staircase, which will lead into the roller coaster station. The station itself ended up looking pretty nice. In my opinion, it's not completely finished. Like the exit and the entrance hall need some more touch-ups. I will go over that later, because the whole building is not really finished yet. I really like how these arches turned out, and they pitch up to the roof. Really nice. I made sure to have these arches in between the how do you call it? The lanes, I guess, the lanes of the station, so they would not really annoy the guests. Because the distance between this one and this one is slightly less than one tile, so I had to place them manually a little bit. And I've laid down the nature pathway over here to connect to connect the paths and make it go full circle, and it will pass underneath the roller coaster right here, and the roller coaster goes through this corner quite close, so that's nice. And over here as well. Over here I had to lower the ground a little bit to make it pass underneath the roller coaster, which looks pretty nice as well. You'll arrive at this village from that pathway. Yeah, I'm really glad with the results, even though it's just a basic layout at the moment. In the next episode I will probably fill this area up a little bit and finish up the queue line to make sure that is finished. And then I'll be starting to do some terraforming of the roller coaster area to make sure, like for instance this part, the roller coaster still goes underground. That's something I need to fix in the next episode, so I'll be paying attention to that area especially. Anyways guys, thanks for watching. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to my channel to stay up to date with my videos, and thanks again for watching. I hope to see you in the next episode. See ya!